in this presentation, I'm going to talk about Expressionism, one of the most significant art movements in history. What is Expressionism? Expressionism is one of the main art movements in the late 19th and 20th century that it initially emerged in numerous cities across Germany at once as a response to the general anxiety about humankind's increasingly discordant relationship with the world. And it accompanies lost feelings of authenticity and spirituality. And it's also an art style in which the artist seeks to depict not objective reality, but rather the subjective emotions and responses that objects and events around within an individually a person. It is the artworks are often spontaneous and highly self-expressive. It's also the formation of the rationalist and classicizing tendencies of Italy and later France. The main aims of the Expressionism movement were for artists to create artworks that help express their emotions, states of minds, and how they personally view their reality. Through Expressionism, artists were able to break away from nature's literal rendering and celebrated hallucinatory intensity. And through Expressionism, artists were able to convey the intense feelings like fear, horror. In the right of this slide, you can see a very famous Expressionism artwork named Lovesick by one of the most famous Expressionists. Here are the list of some key artists of Expressionism: Edvard Munch, Wassily Kandinsky, Paul Klee, Max Beckmann, Ludwig Meitner, George Grosz, Otto Dix. And in this slide, I'm going to talk about the stylistic features as well as the commonly used techniques in Expressionism. They're often highly subjective and personal and very self-expressive and spontaneous. They often have crude, rapid brushwork, jagged, distorted lights, and jarring colors. The common techniques applied in this type of art style is new, strong, assertive forms, the violently distorted, symbolic colors, and lights such as jet, hidden meanings and feelings. So in this slide, I'm going to talk about an artwork named The Scream. This is a really iconic Expressionism artwork, which was created by Edvard Munch in 1893. The material was tempera on board, and this is what the artist himself said. I was walking along the road with two friends. The sun began to set. I felt a tinge of melancholy. Suddenly, the sky became bloody red. I stopped, leaned against the railing, dead tired, and I looked at the flaming clouds that hung like blood and a sword over the blue-black fjord and the city. My friends walked on. I stood there, trembling with fright, and I felt a loud, unending scream piercing nature. This painting demonstrates the artist's experience of a scream-piercing nature while on a walk after being left behind by his two companions. The bloody landscape conveyed his intense anxiety at the time. Also, as we can see, Munch's inner psyche in this painting is different from the other two subjects and identical with the background. This contrast is depicted by the forms of light, geometrical lines, and distorted lines. Significantly, although it was Munch himself who underwent the experience depicted, the main subject does not resemble him or anyone else. The creature in the foreground is depersonalized and made sexless. So, how does it reflect Expressionism characteristics? The artwork describes the subject's feelings rather than reality, and these feelings include fright, melancholy, the pain of human personalities of literation in the modern world, anxiety, and distress. In this artwork, man is part of the nature, and he is absorbed into the nature. Use of colors, lights, and shadow, form, balance, and light help depicted feelings, and the distorted reality is symbolic of his mental state and intense anxiety. Another artwork that I'm going to look into in this presentation is named The Burning City by Ludwig Meitner. The material is oil paint on canvas. Meitner wrote in his journal that the giggles of the city ignite against my skin. I hear eruptions at the base of my skull. The house is near. Their catastrophes explode from their windows. Stairways suddenly collapse. People laugh beneath the ruins. By this, we can see that he was really good at translating, presenting his personal thoughts of the city onto the canvas. He described the nuances of the city, convey his visions of the cityscape, the imminent breakdown that threatens to fall into the viewer's space with the use of thick brushstrokes, sharp corner forms. He created an over-fragmented and geometric aesthetic. Also, the use of juxtaposed geometric shapes have created disharmony in the whole painting. Traditional depth perception with background, middle ground, and foreground in favor of flattened planes of space seem to layer on top of each other. The ground that the buildings stand on is in up and down movement, pulling and blurring the buildings into the void of chaos. We can feel that the city is collapsing in on itself towards the center of the canvas, suggesting an imminent breakdown. Colors like blue, yellow, black, brown, orange, and green reflect their colors in the real world, suggesting that the contemporary context the artist had in mind when he was painting the scene. So the key ideas of this presentation are: the arrival of Expressionism announced that art was now meant to come forth from within the artist, rather than from a depiction of the external visual world, and the standard for assessing the quality of a work of art became the character of the artist's feelings, rather than an analysis of the composition. Techniques include swirling, swaying, and exaggeratedly executed brushstrokes in the depiction of their subjects to convey the emotional state of the artist reacting to the anxieties of the modern world. Through their confrontation of the urban world of the early 20th century, Expressionist artists developed a powerful mode of social criticism in their twisting figural renderings and bold colors. And this is my reference list. Thank you for listening.